everybody, and welcome back to another Coaster Cheetah video, and in this video I'll be doing a park review for Fun Spot America Orlando, which is one of the three Fun Spot parks. There's Fun Spot Orlando, Fun Spot Kissimmee, and Fun Spot Atlanta, and in this video I'll be going over and covering Fun Spot Orlando. In this review I'll be going over the park's lineup of attractions and rides. I'll also be saying when you should go to the park, and what the park has to offer in general, and my experience while I was at the park. So first of all, I just want to say when you should go to the park. I would say what I did. So what I did is I got to Orlando on a Friday and then went to Fun Spot during the night from about 6:30 to 10. And that was perfect because then the following day I went to Islands of Adventure, and then on Sunday I went to SeaWorld Orlando. So it was a perfect Orlando trip there. And yeah, I really don't think that Fun Spot, nor like Kissimmee or Orlando or any of them are full day parks. I would say they're perfect for going to other theme parks and then either going to Fun Spot after or maybe the day or night, because they are open until midnight every single day pretty much that they are open. So yeah, they are very convenient to just go whenever you really feel like. And yeah, so the park hours are 10 a.m. to 12 every day pretty much, like I already said. And the lineup I was actually pretty surprised by. The main attraction here is arguably White Lightning. You could also make an argument that it is the go-karts, but my personal favorite attraction here is White Lightning. But the go-karts are close seconds. And my favorite go-kart track was probably Quad Helix, just because I felt there was more competition in that one almost. But I really had way more fun than I expected on the go-karts. I also liked Conquest because it has a pretty big drop in the middle of it. But honestly, you can't go wrong with any of the go-kart tracks at Fun Spot Orlando. They're all a blast, and I highly recommend doing all of them. I expected to maybe do one of them when I went, and I did all four of them 2 times over. So yeah, I had a very fun time doing that. I also did Freedom Flyer once. I did White Lightning 5 times. I also have a separate review for White Lightning already up on the channel if you would like to go watch that after this. I also went on the Liberty Swing, which is like a miniature Star Flyer type thing. I also went on Hot Seat, which is a first-generation SNS swing. Screamin' Swing, I went on that twice, and just overall some other flat rides. In this park, they also do have Kids Spot, which is a kids section of the park. It's very small, but it does have a kiddie coaster. I believe it's called the Sea Dragon or something like that. And they also do have some kiddie flat rides in a fun house. They also have Gator Spot at the park, which I also did not do, but it's like a little alligator tour. It's, I think, sponsored by Gator World or something, whatever that's called. And it looks pretty cool by the looks of it. If I ever go back to the park, I will probably end up doing it because yeah, it does look cool. It's just a little walkthrough that you can see some alligators in enclosures and stuff. It said they have over like 100 alligators, so yeah, it did look pretty cool. But I unfortunately did not get to do that, but it is a notable attraction that they do have at the park. And going to Fun Spot Orlando, you definitely will not have a shortage of flat rides because they're all over the place. And this is not an overly huge park, but yeah, there are a lot of rides throughout the place. There are also a lot of food options, restrooms, stuff like that. And yeah, this is definitely a lower scale park if you're comparing it to like a Cedar Fair or SeaWorld or even Six Flags park. This is really going to be down there. It's not a park like for example, Fun Spot Orlando only has 3 roller coasters, Kissimmee only has 4. And it's mainly focused on the flat rides. Also, another notable thing, this is definitely big, is there's free parking and also free admission into the parks. There are 2 options to pay for rides. You could either pay per ride, or you can buy a wristband all day, which grants you access to every ride without paying per ride. So it's just you can ride unlimited rides if you buy the wristband. And that's what I recommend if you're going for a while. If you're just there to ride White Lightning and Freedom Flyer and maybe a go-kart or 2, you might just want to get like pay per ride. But at the same time, if you're marathoning coasters, like White Lightning especially, I would still say go for the all day pass because in my opinion, it definitely is worth. One of the other signature attractions here is the Sky Coaster, which I'm not sure if it still is, but when it opened, it was the second tallest sky coaster in the entire world. I'm pretty sure it might actually be now, and I did not go on that thing. It is a pretty hefty upcharge of $15, I think 10 to 15. I've heard different from some people throughout the years. But yeah, I've never been on a sky coaster. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty terrified of them. But if that's your if you're into that, then you can definitely, there is an awesome sky coaster at Fun Spot Orlando that I would recommend if you are fearless. So yeah, the ride collection is pretty nice here. I liked the flat rides, and there are definitely a lot of thrill flat rides combined with family ones, which I thought was nice. They only have one thrill roller coaster, which is White Lightning, but they have Freedom Flyer as a family coaster, which is a Vekoma suspended coaster, and then they have the kiddie coaster from, I believe it's E&F Miler, that I mentioned earlier, Sea Dragon or something like that. White Lightning is a GCI wooden coaster, and it's definitely very good. I highly recommend it. And I think the question here that most people are asking if they're just going to Orlando for a weekend is, should I go to Fun Spot Orlando? And I would definitely say yes. I think you should rather go to that than Kissimmee just because it's closer. But if you have time, then go to both of them, because you could probably go to both of them in one night if I'm being honest. As long as you don't want to spend like a while there. But yeah, they definitely are worth it because they aren't a ton of money, but it is still Orlando. So yeah, it is going to cost you a little bit, but also just to go there for a night and marathon White Lightning and some of the go-karts, I really did have fun, and it was one of the most fun times I've had at a park, purely just because, I mean, I like parks that don't have a ton, just so you can keep marathoning stuff. Obviously, if it was my home park, I would prefer that it has a lot of stuff, because having 3 coasters and go-karts might get a little boring, but yeah, I did really enjoy the park. I would highly recommend going to it. Now, if you're only there, like, I don't know if I could honestly do going to like SeaWorld or Universal or Disney for a day and then going not back to your room and sleeping for the whole night until like 10 in the morning, but instead going to Fun Spot later that night. I don't know if I could do that. That's too much walking for me. But I would say if you could go before or after you're done with the major parks, then that's definitely great. Also, I'm expecting more Fun Spot parks to be adding more rides, because Fun Spot Atlanta just opened Air Force One, which is a huge RMC coaster. So yeah, I really hope we see Fun Spot Orlando in the future get some heavy investment, maybe an RMC Raptor. That would be very interesting. But yeah. And now for the food at the park, there are food stands scattered about. I've also heard food trucks being there, and there is a diner place under the Sky Coaster. The Sky Coaster is literally on top of the building for it. I didn't go there. I just ate at a like food stand and got like a soda and stuff. But I have heard that if you want a meal there, then go to the diner under the Sky Coaster. I heard that is the best place to eat at Fun Spot Orlando. Now, once again, I really did enjoy my visit to Fun Spot Orlando. I had a nice visit, and all the staff was pretty nice and stuff, and they were willing, even if a ride was empty, to just go over and operate it for you, even if you were the only ones riding, which I thought was cool. That happened to me with Rip Curl, which is a little like scrambler ride. Nobody was there except for me, and an operator came over to operate it, which I thought was very nice. But yeah, I would definitely say keep your expectations, for what this park is, because if you're going to SeaWorld Orlando before this and then you go, you might expect this to also be up there, but it's just not. However, you will have a fun time if you know what you're getting into at this park, and I did really enjoy it. So yes, I would recommend this park for anyone to visit if they are going to a trip for Orlando. And yeah, I really did enjoy this park. In the comments down below, if you've been to Fun Spot Orlando, please tell me what you think of the park. And yeah, if you did enjoy, please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.